Okay, so we all are here for the business analyst training demo series. So this will be a 3-day demo series wherein today is our first day of the demo. Okay, now what we will basically be trying to do during the demo series is actually to understand or get some idea about business analyst. Okay, not too deep dive, but maybe just clarify a few doubts like what is a business analyst doing? What are the job prospects for a business analyst? So let me write down those points as well. Okay. Discover about business analyst, maybe an overview of what roles they are performing, job prospective for a business analyst, career growth for a business analyst. Then we keep hearing other analyst terms as well, like a BA, and what's the difference between a data analyst. Now, people sometimes often also ask questions on what's the difference between a BA, which is a non-coding role, versus the Scrum Master. Okay. And then lastly, we want to discuss on the what kind of impact artificial intelligence can have on business analyst roles. Okay, so over next 3 days, we will try to cover these topics. Okay, now all these demo series will start at 8 a.m. IST. Now every day, whatever demo we will be taking on, I'll be preparing running notes like how I'm showing to you guys now. These running notes will be shared through a Google Classroom link. Okay, so if you already have the Google Classroom link, if you joined it, it's good. You can access all the notes through there. If you have not heard of Google Classroom link or if you don't have the link with you, you can always send a WhatsApp message on this number. Okay, that you need access to the Google Classroom link for the 8 a.m. IST demo series that is going on. So that a link could be shared and you can join over there and access the notes from there as well. Okay. Now coming back to the topic, so let's get started and let's see what a business analyst is and discover some of the starting with prerequisites. Okay, so people often have questions related to what should be the prerequisites, what should be my background if I want to get started, is it a completely non-coding role, how does things happen or move around business analyst, what are the skills I could be required if I want to become a business analyst. Okay, is this course truly for me or not? Okay, or is this something that may not suit me as well? So we will try to get answers to all those questions. Okay, now while I'm explaining the topic, what I would request everyone is I may not be looking at the chat as well. Okay, so in between I'll be taking pauses and I'll ask you for questions. So it is at that time you can either unmute yourself and ask your questions, or you if you don't want to ask questions through audio, you can also type in your questions because I'll be checking the chat at that time. Other than that, when I'm explaining the topic, it may be difficult to see the chat, so just wait for some time. Okay, in between I'll be taking pauses and I'll definitely get back to your questions as well. Now with that introduction out, let's get started and let's understand from what exactly this business analyst training program offers to us. Okay. Now over today, and over next few days as well, we'll be trying to mainly cover through these points. Okay, so we will start with prerequisites, cover some of the myths around the business analyst role, go through the course content. What are the topics that we are going to cover in this entire course? Now, along with those topics, what tools will be covered? Then, in order to complete this entire training program, what's our roadmap timeline? What can you expect once the course is complete? Basically, the outcome of the course. What can you expect to learn from it? Then, for to help you guys prepare for the business analyst related jobs, what are we doing? Okay. Things like resume preparation, we'll talk about those, and interview preparation as well. Then what are the certifications available for a business analyst? Should I go for certifications or not? And then lastly, the career growth as business analyst. Now we will not try to rush on to all these topics in one day. We will go it at the pace which suits the students as well. So we'll go through the topics. We'll ask for questions. If you guys have any questions, you can post it in the chat box. You can also unmute and ask. Okay. Now, as the questions are resolved, we'll move to the next topic and then the next topic like that. So we'll try to cover these topics over next today and tomorrow, and then tomorrow and then day after tomorrow we'll have those additional topics as well. Okay. Now, starting with the prerequisites part. Now, what exactly is needed? The basic question that comes into everyone's mind is what exactly is needed? How much of knowledge should I have? What kind of educational degree should I have if I want to get started as a business analyst? Okay, but first of all, before we even jump there, what do you guys understand by the term business analyst? What is your general understanding? So you guys must have done a little bit of research, a little bit of homework in trying to identify what a business analyst does. Usually people often start with giving responses like business on analyst is someone who coordinates between the development team and the stakeholders. Okay. Then business analyst also creates the requirement document, which is used by the development team. Now, what is this development team? Development team is the team that writes the code. So, in the world of IT, the work is segregated into different or into different people. So there will be one person who will be responsible for managing the entire people, usually called project manager. There will be one person who will be responsible for talking to stakeholders to get requirements, like what exactly is needed by the stakeholder, that is business analyst. Then there will be someone who will look at the requirements and start writing the code. That will be our development team. And then after that, there will be some person who will be testing the code. Whatever development team has written, they'll be testing it. So that will be your testing team. So usually these different category of people work together to build any software. Now, in this entire structure, so I talked about project manager, business analyst, a developer, tester, also called as QA, quality analyst. Okay, so usually all these people they work together to do what? To build a software. Okay. Now from this entire structure, what we are trying to do is we are trying to pick up on business analyst. Okay. So from this entire structure, we are going to pick up on business analyst, and that is where we are going to focus on. Now, usually what people may have idea or may not have idea is that a business analyst is coordinating between development team, which comprises of developers and testers or QA, and the stakeholder, who is actually nothing but your client. Okay, so stakeholders could also be referred to as the client. Now, whatever discussion business analyst will have with the stakeholders, they cannot have a verbal discussion alone. Okay, I cannot just talk and not make a note of any document. So eventually, whatever discussion I'm having with client, I need to make a note of it. So how does a business analyst make a note? They actually create requirement document. This is a more detailed document which has all the requirements that must be fulfilled by a software. Okay. Now a simple example could be you all would have seen login screens. Okay. A simple example could be we all have seen login screen where we usually enter our user ID, where we all enter user ID and password. Okay. Now sometimes if you forget your password, what happens? You can reset your password as well. When you are resetting the password, usually you are presented with a criteria. Password should have one uppercase, one lowercase letter, minimum of one uppercase, minimum of one lowercase, minimum of one number, one special character. Like that, a criteria is presented. Okay, so how does development or developer actually code for that criteria? How will they come to know what should be the criteria for my password? Okay, so those are provided by the business analyst in the form of a requirement document. Okay, so requirement document is where through which or a place, or you can consider it as a source of truth, which actually provides all the information to the developer and tester for them to build the application or test the application as is needed. Okay. Now for us to get started, that will be the two key points, and we will leave it at that way in our training program for now. Okay. Now, once we actually jump onto the training program, once we get over there, then we will discuss in detail what all sub activities are covered in order to build a requirement document. What all sub activities are covered while talking to stakeholders. But you can say majorly these are the two important activities. Okay, there could be various sub activities involved in between. Okay. Now coming back to our prerequisites, for that business analyst, what should I do? What kind of degree should I have? Or what kind of experience should I have? So usually I'll divide it into two parts. One that is related to degree, and the second one that is related to the prior experience. Now, with respect to degree, as long as you have a bachelor's or a master's degree, now usually preferable, it is preferable to have BTech, BE, or MCA kind of technical degrees that usually IT companies look forward for. Okay, I'm not saying these are the only degrees who will get the job, but usually IT companies, when they come for hiring, they have a criteria like you should have B.Tech, M.Tech, MCA, BCA. So they usually look forward for those kind of degrees. Now, people having those degrees, they will have better chances at applying for more jobs. There will also be companies that don't take background into consideration what kind of degree you had, but there will be fewer companies like that. Here, majorly companies look for BE, B.Tech, M.Tech, BCA, MCA, those kind of degrees only. Okay, so majorly you can apply in those sectors. Then second, apart from degree, what kind of experience do I require? So when it comes to experience, okay, usually there could be two type of experiences. And let me make a mark over here. These are our main topics, so I'll keep them here. So educational qualification, people with, like I said, BE, B.Tech, MCA, M.Tech will always get preference. So I'm not saying these are the only candidates who will get the job, but they are always preferred in the industry. Other than that, if you have done BSc, BCom, then also it is okay. But these are the preferred candidates. Okay. Nowadays, even MBA is okay as long as you want to get into business analyst or project management related roles. Okay. So strictly speaking, for developer and tester, these educational qualifications are okay. For project management and business analyst, these educational qualifications plus MBA you can also add over there. Okay, that these will be preferred. Okay. Now, when it comes to experience, your experience could lie into two categories. One is you are already in part of IT industry, already working in the IT industry, and you want to switch your roles. Maybe you are working as a developer, okay, and maybe you don't like coding and you want to switch to business analyst role, or maybe you like interacting with people, you like talking with people, you love resolving their doubts. So maybe in that case also you can opt for a business analyst, which actually offers you better coordination with a different variety of people. So maybe you are already working in IT industry in a different role like QA or developer or even a project manager as well, and you want to switch to BA. Second could be you could be part of non-IT industry and then you want to kickstart your career in IT industry. And maybe in order to get started in the IT industry, you have picked up this particular role of business analyst. Okay, so either background, whether whether you come with IT experience, whether you come with non-IT experience, either case, you can always get started as a business analyst. Okay. Now, usually people whom I give a little bit of warning before jumping onto business analyst role is freshers. Okay. And when I say freshers, these are people with no experience in IT or non-IT industry. Okay, like we are in 2024. So anyone who is passing out in 2024, okay, and they have never worked, like whether it is IT industry, non-IT industry, they have never worked at all. So for such people, it could be difficult to find a business analyst related jobs directly. Okay. So for them, the course is not recommended as long as you have some experience, preferably 1 year plus experience, more than 1 year. If it is 2+ years of experience, then it is wonderful. If you are a complete fresher who is looking for jobs immediately, please understand that business analyst may not be suitable for you because a business analyst, we said, interacts with client, so some type of experience is definitely required. Okay. Now, if there are any freshers out there, what they can always do is they can go to naukri.com. Okay, they can go to LinkedIn. They can even check on websites like Internshala. Okay, now you can go visit these websites and find for internship opportunities for freshers. Okay, look for internship opportunities in IT industry for freshers. Go through those internship programs, which gives you hands-on experience, and then maybe you can start trying in a business analyst. This is for absolute freshers. If you are part of non-IT industry, let's say you worked in non-IT for 4 years and now you want to jump to IT, then please understand that you are not a fresher. Okay, you have at least 4 years of experience with you. When I say freshers, it is for people who didn't work in any industry at all. Whether you call it IT or non-IT industry, they never worked anywhere. Okay, so those freshers, if there are any, the business analyst training program is not suitable for them. Okay.
Sorry for the
Other than
interruption.
that,
Sir,
yeah,
can I? Yeah, yeah. I have 1.9 years of experience in the non-IT. Just I have any chance for that going for the business analyst. Completely, I have experience in non-IT.
you have 9 years of experience there.
No, no, 1.9, 1.8, roughly around like 2 years of experience in the assistant sales manager. Where there is option for going for the business analyst is fit for me.
Yes, yes. As long as you have some kind of experience, you can always go into business analyst roles.
Whether my last experience is useful for this role or else, what is the process going to be?
Yes. So some of the key skills that are usually needed for a business analyst are, okay, communication, communication, professional knowledge, okay, like how to work in a team, how to talk to people, what could be the expectation. So when you work somewhere, you would be usually given some tasks. Okay, you perform that task. How do you perform that task? You will coordinate with your team members, you'll talk to them, and then get started as well. Okay, so any kind of professional knowledge will definitely help you. Plus, over the experience that you have, you must have gathered some good communication skills over there. Okay. Now, when you have worked somewhere, you would have realized the importance of updating your stakeholders or client, like how much have you done, what is still pending in your work, how are you progressing through the work, are you facing any challenges in your work. So these all kind of activities within your professional knowledge will actually help you transition into the role of business analyst. Okay. Now over the training
I can
program,
move with the,
in the
yeah,
actual
I can
training
move.
program,
I can move with the 1.9 years of experience as showing it showcase the BA.
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine.
Now we'll move on to the next slide and then I'll stop for questions. What are some of the myths surrounding business analyst profile? So the first thing that people often say is you should have some technical background, or when you want to get started, you must have some IT experience for you to transition into a business analyst role. Okay. Now we will cover this technical part when we talk about business analyst versus data analyst part. Okay. But for a BA, it is not important to have it is not important to have technical knowledge. Okay. As I indicated over here, there are a bunch of people who will work together to build a software. Okay. A project manager who will be responsible for managing the budget and the schedule of the project. A developer will be there with you who will be responsible for writing down the code, okay, who is responsible for doing the coding related work. A tester or a QA will be there to test the accuracy or correctness of the application that the developer has built. Okay, so in that entire stream of work, business analyst does not require to do coding. Okay, understand that a BA, a business analyst, is a technical role. Okay, why do I say it's a technical role? Because you are responsible for providing requirements which will be used for building a software. Okay, so a business analyst, developer, and tester, these three people work closely to build a software. Okay, now out of these three, everyone will have different responsibilities. A project manager is a non-technical person. Okay, a project manager may not be aware of what exactly is happening in the project, how the software will be built, what stage it is in. Okay, so a project manager is a non-technical person and a slightly risky job profile as well, because it is non-technical person. Whenever things go wrong, what happens? You want to retain your technical people as much as possible and you want to get rid of non-technical people first. So BA is a technical person. Okay, technical is not coding. Technical is because of the work they are involved in. That is supplying the requirements for building a software. Okay. Now, if I want to transition into business analyst role, should I have coding skills? Not required. If I want to transition into business analyst, should I have any technology knowledge? It is also not required. Like I mentioned earlier, what you must have to get started is good communication skills, your ability to communicate with variety of stakeholders. Okay, a good professional knowledge on how do I manage and track work. Okay, once you have industry experience, what you would have realized is that in the industry, everyone likes to be updated. Okay, how do we communicate about our work? What kind of work we are doing? How much it is completed? What is still pending? Are there any challenges in doing the work? Okay, how do we write if emails effectively? How do we conduct meetings effectively? Okay, so when you have some kind of professional experience, you would have gone through all that. Okay, so that gives you a better professional knowledge, good communication skills, and at the end, stakeholder management. Okay, because you will be talking to clients, you will be talking to your team members internally. So you must know how do I manage my stakeholders. Okay. So for a business analyst, the points that I have written, nowhere I have written that you must know about Python, Power BI, Java, or any of those things, because those are not needed. Okay. What in on top of all this, what kind of knowledge you will be needed is industry knowledge and system knowledge. Suppose if you are going to work for an IT industry, in the IT industry, let's say we are working for a banking client. So as a business analyst, you must know about the banking industry. You must know about in what your client does in the banking industry, okay, and what kind of system or software they want to build. Now, tomorrow, if you move away from a banking client to health insurance client, then you will have to learn about health insurance industry, how it operates within that health insurance industry. What does your client do? What kind of offerings they provide? Okay. Suppose if after a few years you move from health insurance to, let's say, financial sector. So now you must know about financial sector as well. Then you move to life insurance, then you have to understand about life insurance and client. So what will not change in all throughout your business analyst journey is the kind of experience you gain plus the industry knowledge that you get with your work. Okay. Over time, you will have to deepen your industry knowledge, become an expert in industry that you are working on. Okay. For example, I started my career into health insurance, finance, and then again into health insurance. So from last 5, 6 years, I'm trying to get jobs only within the health insurance sector because now I have built a deeper expertise, which I feel I can utilize in a much better and efficient way. If I keep switching industry from one point to another point, then what happens? I'll not be able to build an expertise. Okay, so industry knowledge, your client knowledge, and what kind of software you want to build. So that would be one challenging part with business analysts, that as you switch industries, you'll have to keep learning about them. Okay, and nowhere I'm saying that you have to learn about Python or Java or coding skills or any kind of SQL. No, nothing related to technology. It is out of your interest. If you want to learn about the technology, well and good. You can, out of your interest, learn. There's no one who will stop you. But if you don't want to learn, that is also good. Okay. Now, the third point is a fresher cannot become a BA. So like I said, absolute freshers who don't have any work experience at all, they must go through internship before applying for BA. But this point is actually for people who want to switch from non-IT to IT, who don't have any IT experience. So with respect to IT industry, they are freshers, but before that IT industry, they have some type of experience. Okay, so they can also become BA as long as you have some type of experience, as long as you follow or you have these skill sets in you. Okay, now before we start the next topic, that is the course content, anyone have any questions?
Yes, sir. I have a doubt like that. Data analyst can become the BA analyst.
Sorry, which analyst?
Data analyst can become as a BA analyst. It's possible for that.
For one person, yes, for one person, it is possible to do both roles. Both have, you can work as business analyst and data analyst, but these are two different profiles. Okay, these are two different type of work that we will see in the upcoming classes. Like what's the difference between the two?
My non-IT experience I can use as a BA.
Sorry, there was some background noise.
Yeah. When non-IT experience can be used as a B experience, is it okay for that?
1 year.
A non-IT experience of 1.9 years, I mean roughly 2 years of experience, you can use as a BA experience. I can put it on that resume as a BA experience.
Yes, yes, yes. You can, yes. That will be a good thing.
What about the PF accounts and all that? Because of the last 1 year, I not have any PF account, and recently I joined a new company. The company providing the PF account is any trouble of going to be added as after the getting any placement or like that.
You're saying PF as in Provident Fund account.
Yeah.
So that is not truly required. See, that is part of the background verification. That has nothing to do with your work profile. So every company, when you join them, they will do some sort of verification, background verification. Like if you are saying you worked for 2 years, do you truly have 2 years of experience? You may not have a PF account. You might have worked for a company that was not paying you well, or that did not have like more than 10-15 employees. So you don't have PF as such. So that is okay as long as you can provide sufficient documents that you worked in the company. Maybe you can provide your bank statement that you were getting salaries from time to
If
time.
you have on the back table, I had a bank account that is a first company for 1.4 years of company. After that, I switched to another company just in providing.
Sorry, so it's getting difficult to hear you actually. Can anyone else hear him?
I can test in the chat. I can test in the chat.
Yeah, so if you have any of these questions, what I would suggest is call on this number, okay, for any of your basic queries, and we'll try to resolve your queries related to PF, other things, and then help you make a decision, okay? Now, when it comes to course content, what how we have designed this entire course is, so the first part starts with the business analyst introduction. Okay, so we understand that some people who want to switch to the role of BA, they may come from IT industry, and then some may not come from the IT industry at all. So they want to understand first how the IT industry functions, what are the different people that are available, understand some of the basic terms that are used within the IT industry. Okay, so we will go through all those part in our introductory phase. Okay, that what a business analyst does, how the IT industry functions, what are the different types of IT companies, how does the team is structured. Okay, hierarchy is specifically calling about the team wherein a BA will be actively involved. What are the roles and responsibilities of a BA? What are some of the activities that a BA should do versus a BA should not do? Okay, and then along with it, we'll also cover some of the commonly used terms in IT so that when you join any team, you don't feel new over there. Okay, it may probably take us around a week to go through the introductory part, and then we move on to the software development life cycle. This is where our core BA skills will get started. Okay, so the first week of training program is actually designed for people who are not part of IT industry to help them switch to IT industry, get accustomed to the terms of IT industry. Okay. The second is the SDLC part, that stands for Software Development Life Cycle. So we will start with what is an SDLC, how it is helpful, okay, what is waterfall technology, what is waterfall methodology, what is agile, and within agile, particularly Scrum. Okay. Then we'll look at how do we identify stakeholder, managing stakeholders through RACI metrics, how do we define their roles, responsibilities, what is a requirement, what are the different categories or types of requirements, what is requirement elicitation, what are the different elicitation techniques, then what is requirement documentation, why it is important, then what are the different categories of documents that we will be looking through, and then we move on to the agile part, wherein we'll try to learn what's the difference between waterfall and Scrum, how Scrum functions, what are the different Scrum events like sprint planning, sprint retrospective, sprint review. What are those different events that happen? What do they stand for? How are they helpful? Then once we understand a little bit of Scrum, then we move on to topics like what is Epic, what is user story, how do we write efficient user stories, what kind of detailing should be covered while writing down user stories, and then understand some of the basic metrics around Scrum, like how do we prioritize our user stories, and then how the estimation happens once we have written the user story. Okay, because even business analyst is involved during that. Now at the end, we will give you a case study for you to try. Okay. Now, before actually giving you the case study, for all these topics that we will be going through, okay, we'll be taking some example to go through these topics. We will also give you assignments from time to time, except for the first week. Okay, so the first week where we are generally trying to understand the IT industry, there may not be enough assignments, but starting point where we start talking about waterfall and business analysts related skill set and topics, there there will be one example that we will take in the class, plus there will be an assignment followed so that you can go back and practice as well. Okay. Along with it, throughout our class, we will take a use case, and from that use case, we will try to understand how the requirements can be written for that use case. How do we execute elicitation technique for that use case? How do we write user stories for that use case? How do we do prioritization? And how can estimations take place for that particular use case? Okay, so that's how the entire training program is. These will be the key topics we'll be covering right throughout the training program. And along with these topics, we'll also be covering through examples in our regular class and then give you assignments for you guys to practice. At the end, condense all this in the form of a case study that you can practice. Plus, we will be doing one case study right throughout our classes as well. Okay. Now, any questions so far?
The class will be completely on online itself only. Offline is possible.
Yes, this will be online class only.
Okay, okay. Offline is not possible for that.
So right now we are not having any offline classes. Okay, but in future soon we'll be launching offline as well.
Okay, fine. But timings of the class and how much duration will be there? Like how many days the duration and how much time the class will be like in a day?
Yes, so that will be our next topic. So moving on to the next topics. Now, what are the tools we are going to cover? So, along with all this, we'll be talking about a requirement modeling tool, that is Draw.io. Draw.io is very similar to Microsoft Visio or Lucidchart, other similar tools available in the market. We will learn about this tool and understand how do we do the requirement modeling. Okay, that is creating the flow charts. We will also learn about Jira tool. What is this Jira tool and how it is used for creating user stories and managing user stories from a business analyst perspective. Okay, so these two tools specifically new with respect to business analyst. Then when it comes to the timelines for training, like you are asking Suresh, so this will be a 1 hour training program every day. Okay, so like how we started at 8 a.m. Indian Standard Time today. So even when the actual classes begin, when a batch is formed and the actual classes begin, the same time will be used. That is 8 a.m. IST. Okay, so every day from 8 a.m. IST to 9 a.m. IST, that will be 1 hour window. In 1 hour, we'll be conducting classes. Okay, the entire training program will take anywhere between 5 to 6 weeks. Okay, the classes will be conducted only on weekdays, that is Monday to Friday. The weekends, Saturday and Sunday, there will be no classes. Okay, unless we get into scenarios where for some reason the class is cancelled over a weekday, then we can compensate it by having a class on weekend or whatever way feasible. Okay, so but generally 1 hour class every day from Monday to Friday, and it will take up to 5 to 6 weeks of 5 to 6 weeks of duration to complete the entire course. Okay, why we are not fixing it at 5 only, because depending on students, the timeline could be extended. We don't want to hurry on to finishing anything within 5 weeks without resolving the doubts or without answering to the questions raised by the students. So sometimes students will have many questions, many doubts. So in such cases, the course may get extended as well. But generally, if everyone works at the same pace, if there's not many questions arising out, then 5 weeks is sufficient. Wherein in first week, we try to build the basics, that is understand about the IT industry, understand about the business analyst, understand about the different people involved within the IT industry. That is absolutely building the basics to help you transition from non-IT to IT. Okay. Second week onwards is where we'll be talking about the core topics related to business analyst. So stakeholder analysis, requirement analysis, what are the different flow charts, activity diagrams, or requirement modeling. Okay. Then week three, we talk about the different kind of documentations that are available with you. Okay. So what elicitation techniques to use, what kind of documents to prepare, like BRDs, FRDs. Week 4, we talk about agile related activities. Week 5, case study and preparation. So this in this preparation, we talk about things like how should you prepare your resume, what are some of the key points that you must enter into your resume. Okay, so we give you those guidelines. Based on the guidelines, we expect students to create resume. Then once they have created resume, I will be reviewing their resume and then suggest any feedback to them, what they can change, what they can add or remove. Okay, so that's one part. Second is we will also be going through commonly asked interview questions. That what kind of questions are asked in interview, and then how should you respond to those questions. Okay. Now, usually we don't end our journey at the end of the course. Okay, we understand that for everyone it is important to get a job also. So even when the course is over, if you are appearing for any interviews and you want to practice a bit, or you want to call and resolve any of your doubts post post the course is over as well, you can always reach us out on the WhatsApp group. Okay? So for all the students who enroll in the course, there will be a WhatsApp group created. You can always use that WhatsApp group as an opportunity to post your questions or even reach out to us even when the course is over. Okay? That what kind of queries you have now or what kind of help do you require from us.
Is there any internship program like that after completing of the course?
So as of now, we are directly not offering any internship programs, but what happens is we also keep our eyes and ears open with respect to jobs that get posted. We'll keep sharing those job details on the WhatsApp group with students so that they can apply. Okay.
Okay.
But if you are looking specifically for internship programs, as I was mentioning over here, you can always look at Naukri.com, LinkedIn, or internshala.com. Preferably, if you are a fresher and you are specifically looking for internship, you can look into internshala.com. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. After completing of the course, what the next step is going on? Like, how much time to take the placement, and what the placement assistance going to be? How many months will take roughly to place around like 2 to 3 months will be like after trying the interviews.
Absolutely. So, after 1.5 month into training program, you can start applying for jobs. That's where you will have most of the skill sets. So, and now with the job market, it may take around, companies usually take around 1 month. They will also take around 1.5 month to go through all the candidates, their set up their interviews. Okay, so it may take, considering the training duration, the job opportunities, the earliest you can get is in somewhere between 2.5 to 3 months.
After having the placement in the company, they will provide any training or else completely go into the project ourselves. So what we are learning here, we are going to execute there.
Yes, yes, whatever you learn here, you will be executing there. Training is only for college freshers. So that is if the people who don't have any work experience at all, we are all applying as experienced candidates. So whether you say 1 year experience, 2 year experience, we all are going to be applying as an experienced candidate. So there will not be extensive training program, but you will definitely have some kind of training given by the IT company so that you understand about their rules, regulations, what kind of procedures or processes they follow. So there will be some kind of training, but it will not be extensive training.
What about the packages? Can I expect as 2 years of experience and 1 year of experience in the BA roles? What can I expect like around?
So packages have been varying depending on your current package. So let's say currently if you are earning 4 lakh rupees, so you can always expect a 40 to 50% hike, sorry, 30 to 50% hike on your current package, whatever you are getting in currently. Now, if you expect that because I switched to business analyst, I'll automatically get 100, 200% hike. That depends on the requirement, how critical the requirement is. Sometimes if you are applying in a position wherein the companies need a business analyst badly, they are looking for the business analyst role, they want to close it as soon as possible. In those cases, they can give up to 100% hike as well. Okay? But there will not be drastically like there will not be many positions as such which will be critical. Most of the time you'll get somewhere between 30 to 50% hike or the minimum industry standard of your experience into two times. That is, if you have 2 years of experience, you can expect a minimum of 4 lakh package to start with. But as you gain more experience, as you gain more knowledge, okay, the prospects of reaching to packages like 20, 30, or even plus 30 lakh plus, that will be good with more experience that you gain in the IT industry as a business analyst. And that we will see tomorrow with respect to certifications and career growth. So, how does a career grow in the business analyst domain? And then how does your salary or package grow accordingly with it?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
fine.
Sure, guys. So at this point in time, we are almost at time. So we'll stop for today. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time for our demo series, second part of the demo series. We'll continue our discussions with the other topics, like what are we going to learn from this training program, what can we expect, and then how are we going to help you prepare for it, then certifications and the career growth part. Okay, so thank you everyone. We'll connect tomorrow.